Play Alberta is offering odds boosts on every Oilers game all season long. And for a limited time only, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they deposit $50 using code GYB50. That's how Alberta wins.
Okay, Oiler fan, this is going to be one of those nights that kind of tests your optimism. It's going to tell you something about yourself. Been a lot of frustration, a lot of patience required for the Oiler fan this year. How do you feel about tonight? Good team rolls into town. Played pretty good, but the result is what it is. No points tonight. Welcome to Got Your Back. Looking forward to breaking it down. Lots to talk about on the tail end of this one. We'll have Struddy to do that. We got Zuby, Rob Brown will check in a little bit later as well. So plenty of content coming your way. As always, we are brought to you by our title sponsor, Timberhouse Developments. Their commitment-driven process empowers their team to craft some of Edmonton's finest custom homes. If you're thinking of a garden suite, infill development, or fully custom home, talk to Timberhouse. You can dream it, they can build it with a full team of in-house designers, decades of construction experience. They bring your ideas to life, from all kinds of creative ideas, garden suites for aging parents, to stunning estate homes and everything in between. Visit timberhouse.ca. As we say, good evening to Zuby and to Jason Strudwick. We will get to the matter at hand in just a moment, but a quick check-in with you, Struds. How are spirits in the Strudwick household after Shona's big appearance the other night? Are you still sleeping in the same room? Everything going okay between the two of you? Because that was interesting.
Yeah, you know what? She actually got a lot of good feedback from our friends and from, just people reached out to say, good job. I slept very comfortably. I did nothing wrong. I spoke the truth. I think sometimes bringing it to light makes it a more healthy relationship. So I was no problem at all. I'm not sure what her feeling was. I'm sure she has some guilt, trash talking me behind my back, but that's okay. No problem.
It was so much fun. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Well, you know what? My wife hasn't. I basically gave my wife the Coles notes. She said, I got to watch that. She hasn't watched it yet. But I do, I don't know. I thought it was so much fun, and it was great to hear the other side of those stories. And I felt like but I think it's the mustard more than anything. I feel like I was surprised at what a deep dive we ended up doing on the mustard here. And It's already, people are talking, they're taking mustard as like being part of it's in the stream now. Everybody's talking about it. So I think that's actually going to end up being the long lasting takeaway.
Yeah. So I'm pulled over in my truck just to get the intros and stuff done here. It's a tiny little screen I'm looking at. Strud, you're gonna have to help me out, but like, Zuby, what do you got going on there, buddy? Like, what is that? Like an ascot? Is it I see red ascot? Like, what is happening there? I can't tell.
I'm scarfed up. I just wanted to do something a little bit festive. It looks like I'm trying to be like an out of work actor, but it's actually a festive. It's actually a festive light up scarf that my son wisely insisted that I get from the dollar store. So it's it's just part of. So I don't know. I'm just giving something a shot here tonight, and I just wanted to be. I felt like I was very black and gray, and it wasn't very festive. And it's December now, and I also want to put out to the stream as well. It is now open season on Ask Us Anything questions, Christmas related, music, movies, treats, all of that stuff, presents, whatever, all that stuff. It's now open season. It's December 2, so I'm leaning into it.
I feel Struds, like if I showed up with that on, you would have had some sort of very sharp, well thought out, aggressive line for me. And I guess maybe I just want to ask you, Struds, like, what's the difference between Chris and I? Like, why wouldn't you do that to him when everyone knows what you would have done to me?
Okay, well, two things. One, Zuby and I are co-workers. We have Struddy's World tomorrow. We want to go in with a healthy relationship and make sure everyone feels good. Number two, Zuby doesn't throw darts at me. I don't like to shoot first, but once shots have been fired, I am relentless in coming back at you. So you like to throw the odd dart around, and that's fine. I love it. But once you open that door, I'm walking right through.
I'm not sure I agree with that history. Would that be accurate, Zuby, that he never fires first? I feel like you fire first more than your share.
No,
Well,
I agree.
He's going
It's
way
just-
back though. He's not. I don't
Yeah,
think
it's-
he's
oh, yeah.
talking show to show.
No, yeah. Once you open the door, it's open. Like there's no closing it. I wait. I'm a kind. If someone doesn't want to chirp, no problem. I have no problem. But if you open the door, I'm coming through, and I'll just keep coming because I know
Alright.
that you
So
like the taste.
you and Zuby don't have a real chirping relationship on the show. There's a lot more mutual respect there, and you focus your efforts on other targets that you feel are more willing
Right.
combatants in the whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, you and Brownie, really, you and Brownie, and the odd person
yeah,
on the
really.
group chat. Yeah.
All right. Well, I look forward to seeing if Brownie maybe has anything to say to Zuby, or if he's going to let that slide too. Enough of this. Let's get to the breakdown. Brought to you by the Canadian Brew House. We got a hockey game to talk about during every Oiler game day at the Canadian Brew House. Enter at any Edmonton and area location for your chance to win Oiler home game tickets. Plus, enjoy $1 off Molson Canadian and Coors Light tankards. Edmonton-born, Canadian-operated, 48 locations across Canada, and some real nice ones. Great locations here where it originated. It is the Canadian Brew House. Struds, I definitely sense some very legitimate frustration in the Oiler room tonight. In particular, Connor McDavid, and we'll hear from him coming up here shortly in the Weiss Johnson Soundbox. But, on a night like tonight, I think, if the team wants to let some of the optimism shine through, Zach Hyman did, Chris Knobloch did a little bit too. I think that's okay. I can understand why they would want that to be the sentiment, given the way the game was played, quite frankly, by them. What say you on that?
I love this game. I absolutely loved it. I loved it on the heels of the game in Seattle. They shut out Seattle, played really well tonight. They didn't give up much against a team that's been absolutely rolling. They gave up one goal. So you like to think they can find a way to cough up, a goal or two, but they didn't. But they were just as, detailed defensively, chance for chance, as the Wild were. And the Wild have been a really good defensive team lately. So there is no doubt that they'd be frustrated in the outcome, but not in the process they used to get to that outcome. Like, this was a winnable game. Wallstedt played well. I thought the Oilers maybe had chances to shoot or to score, and they didn't. But I really, really like this game. And if you're an Oilers fan, this is two good defensive games in a row for the Oilers. And I'd be thinking, okay, what's next? Like, is it starting to feel better, this group of Oilers players, about their defensive game?
Yeah, good points. And I think, like, big picture here, and we'll drill down on the minutia a little bit of tonight, but I think big picture, Struds, there is a positive sign that has emerged here, and it's that they were able to have 3 practices over the course of a week. Back-to-back days, and they had another one yesterday, by all accounts. This is helping. And defensive play has been such a focus that you have 3 practices in a week, and you go on a run of giving up 1 goal against across 2 games. So, it feels like solutions were sought and found, and I know it's just a couple of games, but I don't want to understate how big this week of practice, followed by results on their biggest problem, might affect this season, how big this week might be for that.
Well, it would have been a wise man that would have said about 10 days ago that this team needs practice to change their defensive habits. That would have been a really smart move by someone to say. Too bad no one here said it. It'd be like someone saying, you can't show me how to improve my golf swing by showing me videos of Tiger Woods. And yet here we are after some real practices in which they could drill down and feel it and make those habits stick, not just talk about to actually do it on the ice. It would make a difference. So for sure, it's right. I think that is a great point, Schauger. And also they're rested, right? They're more rested. Keep in mind, they're still missing some pretty important players on this team. The speed of Kapanen, Wahman, obviously Roslovic. Like tonight, could Roslovic been the difference offensively? That maybe found an extra goal in his back pocket, an early gift from Santa. But the practice makes a difference. And you know what? We're talking about less. Well, there's going to be less preseason. There's got an additional 2 games next year. Will practice be easier to get? I doubt it. I doubt we'll be able to get more practice. But practice matters even at the highest levels.
Do you feel I don't give you enough credit on this show? Like you had to go and grab that credit. I feel like I gave you credit. I give you credit after last game for how the practicing helped them. I've already patted your ego with that credit. You went out and grabbed it today, buddy. That was aggressive by you.
That's 2 victory laps in a row, right? Let's just keep it going. If they have a shutout next game, I might just take a week off. I might be like, see you guys. I'm out.
Yeah.
We'll have a great Christmas.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys. Well, just before Christmas, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Strud's in his rookie season, game 2, says, I'm still a rookie. Why can't I do the lap by myself again?
No, if there's a shutout next game, honestly, you might want to find a guest host because it'll be ridiculous what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh boy, especially after another practice, because they'll have another practice in between.
Right. Yeah.
That's good stuff. Okay, listen. So drilling down on this game, though, I mean, bottom line, the Oilers didn't find any goals, and Wallstedt was very, very good. I thought he was. I just had this feeling, man, they're not beating this guy tonight. He looked so big and solid and steady in there. Zuby, I know that your timeout word is usually Holloway or Broberg on this show. Tonight, you might want to make it Xavier Bourgault. I mean, Oiler fan might be feeling the sting of that. But listen, Struds, let's go to Connor McDavid. We won't do the Weiss read here, but I just want to talk. I want you to hear about from Connor McDavid. A couple of their best looks tonight were McDavid right in the slot with opportunities and passed up opportunity, Struds. And on a night where you have a goalie playing like this, you can't pass up a couple of your grade A positions. So here's McDavid postgame, and you'll hear him talk about his own opportunities here.
Yeah, maybe not the most grade A chances, but we definitely threw pucks there. Had some looks, passed some away, myself more than anybody. So.
You mentioned passing those away, Connor. You've talked lots about you want to shoot more. What did you see there that led you to want to pass it rather than fire?
I stand on the backside, so obviously trying to get him the puck. But yeah, I can take those.
I can take those. I mean, Strud's such a good offensive player. It's weird to question him, but he's clearly second-guessing himself a little bit in those situations. But a couple of big moments where he just makes that call, eh?
Yeah, and I remember the exact place. It was early in the game. He broke through the middle, and he went to the I guess the right of the netminder, got on his backhand. Obviously trying to draw the eyes of everyone and try to throw it back. Didn't quite make it. Then later in the game, I think it was the third, same situation, just not quite smooth. And he can make that play. He is, elite and do all those things. Right now, when you're playing against a hot goaltender, I would like to see him take that shot. I think he can go forehand, maybe backhand, or even on the second one, go forehand, backhand. He is deadly in tight and gets it up quick. I would like to see him take shots. I have at least one in that moment.
Let's dive back into the Weiss Johnson soundbox here, and we'll have Zach Hyman talk a little bit more about the overall defensive game and what they can take from that. But Struds, as always, our sound box brought to you by our very valued partners over at Weiss Johnson, buddy.
Should you need a new train furnace, air conditioner, heat pump, hot water tank, or garage heater, Weiss Johnson is now offering 24 months, no interest, equal payments, OAC to make your purchase easier heading into the Christmas season. Their family helping your family for nearly 50 years. Visit wjjingle.com for exclusive specials just for Got Your Back jingle lovers. Hit it.
We're not
going to go too heavy with the jingle tonight. They played decent, but didn't win, didn't score a goal, so we'll probably cut it there. Zach Hyman post-game, though, on his thought process. Glass half full still.
Yeah, I mean, last two games, we've given up one goal. So for a team that's struggled to defend, that's pretty good. You know, if you give up one goal in 2 games, most times you're winning both, right? So fortunately, we weren't able to find one tonight. But if we continue to play like that defensively, we'll find our chances.
And we'll stay with that and go to Chris Knobloch. Similar sentiment, I would say.
The NHL is about winning games, and you want to win. But in the long picture, I prefer that we play the right way, and we play the right way and well, that we're going to win more often than not. And tonight I thought we had an effort in a game where we should come away with the 2 points more often than not. And, you know, we've had some games this year where we were terrible, and we won games just by, you know, maybe our goaltender was better or special teams, but there wasn't much to like about it. Tonight, I thought there was a lot of things that we did well, and we play that game again. We're going to get at least 1, 2, if not 3 or 4 goals. So I'm definitely looking at the positive. I'm a glass half full kind of guy right now.
And there's been enough negative energy swirling around this team. Like I said right off the start of the show, you'll kind of give them this one if they want to spin off this one and try and find some positives and feel good about themselves. Struds, it's overall the result is disappointing, not pulling a point out of it, but the start of a home game or a homestand here, toughest team they're going to face, back-to-back good defensive performances. And I think it's important to note too, and we could talk about the goal that Skinner let in, but are we willing to say that Skinner, in what would it be, 3 of his last 4 starts, has actually, you know, done his job, Struds?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I think that's a goal that you like to have back. But you have to score more than 1 or more than 0 to win the game. So, you know, it's yeah, I think it's a stoppable puck. I do. But
I mean, he did his job tonight.
He did. He gave up 1 at home, right? Against a rookie netminder, no doubt, right? That's what he is. Wallsted's a rookie netminder. Doesn't mean he's not good, but he is a rookie. But to your point you made earlier, just at the beginning of that kind of question was, I do believe that it takes time to change the habits of your game, right? So the Oilers have had poor habits from basically game 2 on. They haven't been good. So we're talking about the process. Yeah, we're talking process. Yeah, we are. So you're talking about the process of getting to a point where your game is organized defensively. And so you don't just change it overnight. We joke about the one practice. We need multiple practices. You need multiple good games to feel it and to remember what that's like, the commitment it takes, the dedication, the focus to do all the right details defensively. And then your goalie starts feeling comfortable. His confidence grows. And we're starting to see both those things from the Oilers, like the last 4 or 5 games, I'd say. Schauger I'd probably take the Dallas game out of that one. I don't think that would count. But they're starting to head in the right direction. And I think that is what's important. So, yeah, the process is frustrating, but they now have a string of 4 games at home that are winnable games. You know, and quite frankly, the Oilers should be able to win a lot of these games, but not with the way they're playing. So can they lock down 4 good games at home here? I think it's really possible. I think it's highly possible they do it.
Let's take a deeper look inside the numbers here and get to our crunching the numbers segment. We'll look at some of our stats courtesy our friends at Sport Logic. Crunching the numbers stretch brought to you by McDonald's.
Who's of Canadaville, do be warned, the Grinch is back and he's feeling quite scorned. He's built a worse box with odd socks as a prize, and he left behind a who hash surprise. Looking to see the Grinch's big reveal, it's only at McDonald's, his Grinchiest meal. For a limited time only while supplies last at participating McDonald's restaurants in Canada.
I love it. You did well, buddy. You did really well. So McDonald's has their new Christmas campaign out and a lot of Grinch McDonald's themed stuff. There's some commercials and stuff that are pretty good. Randine printed out the ad reads and she was like, You and Struds are going to need to read over these. The McDonald's reads are different, and they're kind of like, make sure. So I don't know if you had a chance to read over it ahead of time or you hit that cold, Struddy, but you nailed it.
No, I glanced over it because I think the people at McDonald's are trying to make me look bad. I get it. But I was there today, buddy. I picked up a cheeseburger meal, medium fries, and an apple juice. Go to. It was
There you
delicious
go.
today. So we're even McDonald's. Trying to make you look
Yeah,
bad.
you were feeling it. Well, our buddy Gerp was trying to trip you up with a little
I know, Kirk.
curveball with the ad read, but I love it. I love the Christmas campaign they've got going. Which numbers did you think mattered from Sport Logic tonight, Struddy?
Well, there was 3 that I picked out. It was put puck in the O-zone time, so to give you a sense, 23, just over 20 minutes for the Oilers, 23 minutes for the Oilers, just under 16 minutes for the Wild. So the Oilers spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. O-zone possession time, that means who had it on their stick. The Oilers, 738. The Wild, not even half of that, 307. So good job defending. I think it's defending their end, Shugger, but it's also, I think, defending off the rush. It's angling, not allowing them to get into the zone. I think that's really positive. Then the one that I shed tears. I shed tears over this. Turnover scoring chances. The Oilers had 3, but the Wild only had 4. I believe since we started, this is the lowest total we've seen for a versus team against the Oilers.
Dialing in some of those defensive details, being a little bit more sure with the puck on their stick. The other thing we're not seeing that we were before so regularly, Struds, was the big mistake. It's strange. It just became so normal in the first 15, 18 games of the year. You just expect those mistakes. Now, upon reflection, it's weird. You watch a hockey game and nobody is making the massive blunders, and you're like, oh yeah, that's normal. Those aren't supposed to happen twice a game, every game.
Yeah, there's going to be mistakes, right? You're going to have mistakes, but you don't want them to be the variety that it turns into a breakaway or a 2-on-1 or a 3-on-0. Like these are things we saw regularly to start the year. But it goes back to kind of what we were talking about earlier. Like this team was off. They were not dialed in. And now we're starting to see pieces drop in, right? Pieces drop in and kind of get dialed in. Nuge coming back. I think that's been important for the group as well. Roslovic, Wallman, Kapanen, these guys matter in this group. Curtis Lazar kind of taking a step and showing what he can do. So we're seeing the group do it, but individuals also within that group starting to find their way.
What did you think of some of the support players in their games tonight? Like McDavid and Draisaitl aside, they're needing support scoring, right? And I know the big guys didn't score tonight, but you're looking at the Savoys, the Nugent Hopkins, the Hymans. I'll throw Mangiapane in there because of his placement in the lineup. Like, what did you see from that support group tonight?
Well, I thought Mangiapane had a couple of really good chances. And, you're in a game like that, man, you need that guy to score, right? I'm thinking the 3-on-2 rush. He has a point-blank shot from the slot. And Wallstedt, now to his credit, made it look easy. But you got to find a way. You got to find a way to score there. Give yourself a chance. Even Hyman was around it, couldn't quite find it, couldn't quite kick it around. Savoy, I think he had 1, maybe 2 shots tonight. I'm not sure he's a real threat offensively. But to circle back to it, Roslovic, he's been playing really well. Could he find a way in this game to do it? And then, quite honestly, how would that have changed up the lines, right? What do the lines look like now? I know they went to the nuclear option second half of the game, and I actually think it was probably the right move. But Roslovic, can he find a way? Does it become he, Hyman, and Nuge on a quote unquote second line? And that's actually quite a formidable line if that's what they do.
Interesting you say you think it was the right move. Let's make this I was going to save this for later in our show, but let's do core adjustments right now, Struds, because this was a big adjustment that Chris Knobloch made heading into the third period. And our core adjustments are brought to you by HSE Core Services. Struddy?
Need a safety program? They build it. Need it managed? Oh, they'll do that as well. Stuck dealing with those online safety registries your clients make you sign up for? Yep. They handle those as well. And yes, they do also do core audits. Thanks. Visit
I'm going to bring you in here. They're just
www.hsccor.com.
going
That's
to core adjustments talking.
hsccor.com for more info.
All right, Zuby, I think your mic's hot there, buddy. If you're
Yeah,
chatting with
I turned it
Brownie.
off. I got Brownie here. I'm going to patch him in for this conversation.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, it was interesting, Strud. So you like the fact that he went with the big guys together for the third period, and I was actually chatting with a couple of other media guys, Gregor and such, and I said, I think he needs to resist the temptation to make the change tonight. This is exactly one of those situations, right? Team's playing pretty well, but they're not getting the offense that they need. This is exactly the situation where he will make the switch. He's not going to be able to just stand pat. And I feel like we've been talking lately on the show about how he needs to give the lines the chance they need. He's got to stay with it. I would have preferred he stayed with the lines tonight, Struds, because had he stayed with those lines, maybe a tweak here or there, like maybe Mangiapane down and Frederick up or whatever. But my point is, keep McDavid and Draisaitl apart and stay with it and see if you can win a game. I think that would have been big for the team to keep those guys apart if they'd have been able to find a win. I would have preferred he didn't, to be honest with you, as good as they looked together.
Yeah, I think what I saw, and I'll get to Brownie in a second. I think that I think a lot of guys were going tonight. So it wasn't like it was just them trying to do it on their own. They spent a lot of time in the offensive zone. Different people had time in there. The D-man, they were moving and grooving. Regula and Emerson, two guys I watched closely. So I don't know. I thought it was a night where it wasn't like they're down 3-4-1 and trying to get back into it, blowing those guys up. I thought it was like, we're going to put those two guys together thinking they can get us one. They can get us one, and they don't have to get four against a hot goalie. So that's how I saw it. Brownie, welcome to the show. What did you see, buddy?
Well, I wasn't surprised they did it, but I probably agree with Schauger. I wouldn't have done it. I just think that you're playing against a Minnesota team that has one really good defensive line, really good, and you're staying away from them. When you have Connor and Leon together, you're staying away from them. But now that really good defensive line is shutting down someone else. So you're counting on Connor and Leon's line to score because you weren't going to get a goal from anyone else. You just weren't. The Oilers aren't deep enough right now without Roslovic to create offense. With Connor, Leon, and Hyman are all together. I understand how they are so good together and they have success a lot. But the second period, the Oilers were dominant and outshot them. I think it was 15-7. And that was with Connor and Leon on separate lines. And then they put them together for the third period. And now the one thing that happens is you just have to survive the shift. When you're playing against Connor and Leon together, if you're the Wild, survive this shift, then we're going to have 3 minutes where we're fine. Then survive this shift. And the problem going against the Wild, they got really good defense. And you're not going to get mismatches with Connor and Leon. So now you've got your whoever Minnesota throws on the ice defensively, they can play and survive Connor and Leon. So I agree. I would have kept them separate because they were playing so well as a team. And I agree with the fact that I think it is more of a team victory if you aren't relying on one line to win the game for you. Everyone will feel part of it. So I wasn't surprised, but I would have kept Connor and Leon on separate lines.
You want to rebut that, Struds?
No, I get it. I hear what you guys are saying. I feel that most nights.
Yeah.
Tonight I didn't. I felt it was different because they just needed the single goal. And it seemed like that's all they needed.
And I'm not trying to be a revisionist historian here. Like I actually said to Karius, he really needs to resist the temptation to do this in this third, because if they can find a way to win this game, come back against this team on home ice and exercise the demon of, teams rolling in here, good teams rolling in here and beating them, and they do it with a team win, I think it just would have put a cherry on top of a good night for them. So either way, it's not like they played poorly when he put them together. They played well and they pushed it and they had some looks. Brownie, we heard Connor McDavid tonight talk about passing up opportunities. I don't know, what say you on those looks he had and the decisions that he made?
Well, I've said it a lot on this podcast that when Connor and Leon have the puck on their stick, their hockey IQ is better than all of ours. And they're there on the ice. And they can see different things that we can't see. And again, we also have the advantage being up in the press box to see what might be a better play. So I'll never go against Connor or Leon when they decide to pass. But sometimes when you're sitting there, you're like, oh, I see what Connor's looking at. He feels that guy back door has a wide open net. But what I'm seeing is Connor's got one of the best wrist shots in the league. He can beat the goalie from where he is. And if he doesn't, there's now chaos in the blue paint. So I think he looked, I think he turned down a couple chances. The one that really stood out, though, was at the end of the game. He tried forcing passes on a 6-on-4. You never have to force anything 6-on-4. You got two players more than them. The only thing you want to do is force pucks on net because you're down a goal. So I'm never going to question Connor's decision, but as a coach, as a fan, as someone sitting in the press box, I would have loved to have seen Connor McDavid take a couple more shots with the opportunities he had tonight. He was in some good spots tonight, Strud, where he decided to try and find a teammate instead of finding the back of the net.
Yeah, 100%. And but like, God, everything you say is right. And I'm thinking of two plays specifically where he tried to go backdoor on his backhand. You know, one of those, could he elevate it, go five, go over the top of the shoulder? Could he zip it 5-hole on the backhand? Like, just something different. And I know what he's doing. I get it. But I want, like, if I'm a teammate, I'm like, yeah, if he shoots and misses, it's okay. I trust his judgment. Shoot that puck. We want you shooting it. We haven't beat this goal yet. Our best player. We'd rather have him try to shoot it. I'd rather him have 5 shots rather than, me have 3 and him have 1. You know what I mean? Like, you trust him. You want that guy with the ball in his hand to finish the game off or to get the goal.
Yeah, and I think Strud's that point that you just made, and we've seen McDavid and Draisaitl both make such brilliant passes from that exact spot, and now you got a goalie moving left to right, and it's a goal. There have been so many times where that turned out to be exactly the right play. But big picture, I think the Oilers want, and I think McDavid wants, for him to be playing the game with more of a fundamental shooting instinct than that's a stated goal of his coming into the season, right? Thinking like a shooter. And for whatever reason, he hasn't really displayed that this season where he's got, hey, boy, McDavid really has shooting on his mind. He's got that shooter's instinct in him this season. He stated it, but hasn't really done it. And a night like tonight focuses on that a little bit.
Well, to that point, the best player in the NHL right now is probably Nathan McKinnon, and probably has been for a little while now. He is a shot first mentality. Like, he always shot first. No one's ever called him selfish, ever. And tonight scored 2 more again tonight. So Connor McDavid, his shot it's McKinnon-like. I mean, he can shoot that. So sometimes being a little selfish is better for your hockey club. But again, McDavid sees things that we don't see. But just from bird's eye view, there's some times, especially in this game, when you're down a goal and you have the opportunity, nobody will ever question you throwing the puck on net.
Yeah. Okay, I'm getting home here. Struds, I'll let you rip through Relentless and our YouTube poll. And quite frankly, anything else that you want to do, and I'll take a few minutes and get inside.
Okay, buddy. Let's get to our YouTube poll then, Zuby, brought to you by DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center. Uncle Al and Scotty are giving our GYB listeners the gift of golf this Christmas. TJ and the Christmas Elves are grinding to help you find the best gifts for the golfer on your list. Purchase a gift card between December 1st to 24th of more than 100 or more and receive 10% back as a gift for you. Pick yours up at 5311 99th Street in Edmonton. Great guys. Get over there and check it out. Zuby, what do we got for a poll tonight, you old dog?
All right, we got a mood check after a 1-0 loss. So here's your options. First option, losing sucks no matter what. Second option is meh, lack of goals still concerning. Third option is not bad, defense, goaltending, PK trending up. And the fourth choice is all good. They win that game 9 out of 10 times. And it's very evenly split right now. So a range of emotions being felt on the stream.
So before he jumped on Brownie, I made the point that they have had really a tough start. They're just poor everywhere, really, and they're still in this thing. But it's a process of changing your game so it becomes detailed and habit forming style of defensive play is important. I think that for the last 5 games, obviously the Dallas one will throw out. They've been better defensively, especially the last 2 games, giving up 1 goal in 2 games. Would you kind of agree with that, or do you think are they trending in the right direction?
Oh, they are, and it's earlier in the year the Oilers had some wins, and on the podcast, but certainly on chat, I was critical of their wins because they didn't play well. The Montreal game, they were gifted a game because of the referees. They were not good in that hockey club. They weren't good in the New York hockey game in the Rangers where they won. They beat Columbus. They weren't good in that game. And I'm saying, like, if you play 10 games like that, you're going to lose 7 of them. But the way the Oilers played tonight and have played lately, like tonight, I'm positive in a loss because this is the way they're supposed to play. And most nights they're going to find the back of the net at least twice in a game where they play that well. Their power play is going to find the back of the net. Their Ekholm, instead of crossbar, now goes crossbar and in. Hyman gets around the pad. It sucks as a fan when your team loses. And it sucks, too, when your team loses a game that they probably should have won. But over the course of 82 games, you're going to have more positive nights when you play this way. When you get into the playoffs, this is how you win playoff hockey. We know that because we've seen the Oilers the last 2 years. Their success was on good defensive play. I'm positive after tonight's hockey game. Their goaltender played well. They defended well. They didn't give up much to the Minnesota Wild. They just ran into a very good goaltender and a very good defensive team who had a night. But I'm positive after tonight's hockey game. They're trending, yes, in the right direction.
Yeah, and they got 4 games at home here. They can make it happen. Zuby, let's move on to Relentless Player now, brought to you by UCAN Youth Services, an Edmonton charity relentless in creating possibilities for local youth. Mental health drives growth and success, the key to thriving, not just surviving. With 2 in-house counselors offering free therapy, their youth have the support they need to navigate struggles and rediscover their strength. Visit ucan.ca to donate today. Okay, guys, I'm going to go with Jesper Wallstedt. 4 shutouts, been recalled recently. The young guy has been literally relentless in tearing apart the NHL. I mean, he's been so good. And we just touched on my hair a little bit, but I guess Zuby's, he looks so solid, so steady in the net and calm behind his D-men.
And he kind of looked, Stuart Skinner takes heat for his lateral movement. I mean, this guy looks like he's barely moving. He's owning the space so well. You didn't even think of him kind of moving laterally. He's just there, and he's big. He's really tight to the poke. Some of those places where they were trying to work something down low to the post, it's like there is nothing there. There's not a crack. There's nothing up high. He's got the one leg out, like nothing. So yeah, I was really impressed. First, obviously, rookie guy, first time I've seen him play, but very impressed.
Well, you know what else, Strud, what I was really impressed with him was how well he played the puck. This is a young defense or a young goalie coming into the league, and this is his first time playing against Connor and Leon. There could be some intimidation, but every time he came out, he stopped the puck, he looked up ice, he fired pucks up through the neutral zone. He got the puck out on a they were penalty killing once. I know it's a small sample size, but what a nice sample he's put together here to start his NHL career. When you have a team that plays good defensive hockey in front of you, and everything is predictable, and you're a good goalie, that usually is a good combination. He's had a nice start to his NHL career, and tonight he was fantastic.
Yeah, really good.
And just
really
to quickly on that street, they also apparently he was very poor in the AHL for a full season last year. They said something like 870 save percentage. So you don't know what it takes sometimes to trigger these guys, but you don't want to give up on them either. Struddy, quickly compare the shutouts, because of course you've kind of famously took some heat for saying you were going to put an asterisk next to Stu's shutout from last game. But this was a bit, he had to do more than Stu did the other game. But in your eyes, compare them.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt. He really earned this one. He had a ton of shots. It was over 30 shots, and some good chances. I think Brownie, you mentioned the Hyman in the I think it was the power play. He tries to go to his backhand and just gets his toe on. Like, that was pretty good save. There's some others just getting a piece of, and then the ones I liked were just the ones that, as Zuby just alluded to, made it look easy. Where Connor Leon may have tried to go short side in the pass against a goalie, there was no one there. Or so there's nothing there for them to go on. So yeah, full marks for this one. Again, I got to explain my asterisk next to that shutout. It's because the team in front of them finally played a good game in front. So they earned some of the credit as well. But tonight, full marks for Jesper, boys.
Okay. I thought they were similar, despite more chances. No breakaways. Skinner stopped a break. I think you're right, but I think they were very close. I actually think they were pretty close.
All right, that's fair. While Oilers fans are lamenting the fact that he wasn't on the Oilers side that tonight. Obviously, if you remember the trade, they traded down. The Oilers did, and Minnesota traded up, and the Oilers got Xavier Bourgault. And a D-man, a German D-man, of which neither of them with the team right now. So that's a tough one to swallow. All right, let's take a pause here on the station. On the show, when we get back, we'll get Schauger back in here. We'll take you a little deeper into the game. Brownie points as well, right around the corner. Stay with us, Edmonton.
For over 60 years, Belvedere Golf and Country Club has delivered a high-quality membership experience to Edmonton and area. And now it's even better. Drainage and irrigation improvements in 2024 have taken course conditions to a new level. This commitment to long-term sustainability means exceptional playing conditions all season long. Belvedere's tee sheet availability is unmatched, so join now and experience golf the way it was meant to be played, on your schedule. Visit belvederegcc.com today.
At Modern Measure, every item of clothing starts from scratch and is designed from the ground up, based on both your style preferences and current fashion trends. Their clothing is fully designed to give you the exact look you're looking for, down to the smallest details and customization. The Modern team will work with you to make sure that you not only look and feel great, but make the most of your investment. On the ground floor of Edmonton Tower downtown, Modern Measure. All right, rolling right along. Time now for Takeaways, brought to you by Chandos Construction. Chandos doesn't just hire talent, they will invest in it. 100% employee owned, so when their people grow, the whole company grows as well. Ready to build something that really matters? Apply now at chandos.com/apply. That's chandos.com/apply. 12 straight games with points the Minnesota Wild have picked up, and fourth shutout in 6 starts. This goaltender is really, as you guys were talking about, playing some fantastic hockey right now. I want to dial in a little bit on the back end and some players and some performances there. Strud's Alec Regula, I think we all know that hit he took from Evander Kane definitely derailed the start to a promising season for him, and it's taken him a little bit to find his way back. I thought he was really good last game, made some really solid plays. Where were you at on his night tonight?
Yeah, he just looks quicker. And I don't know if he was tired. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe he needed a break. Maybe he needs some practices. Like I could tell you from being at the bottom of the lineup, it's not the same as playing 25 minutes a night. You're playing 10, 15. I think he was around 14 or 16 today, if I remember. You need some touches in practice to kind of make yourself feel good about it. So it looks like he's gotten some of that back. He's making plays, especially when he was under pressure, going back to get pucks. I thought he made some nice plays. So yeah, he has taken I thought he started well, took a step backwards, and now taking that step back forward. Brownie.
I agree. I think that there were games where he looked panicked when he had the puck. When he was under pressure, he looked like Bambi at times. Legs were going all over the place. He could throw the puck away. And I agree with you. When it's the only time you're getting ice time is in games, and you're only getting 14 minutes, 15 minutes a night as a defenseman, and things aren't going right. It's really hard to find your game. So I think everyone, they just look calmer. They're just, the big mistakes aren't there on the back end. Darnell Nurse and Regula they've looked fine together. So that's a huge positive for the Oilers right now.
I'm going to read a stats line to you guys. Okay. 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points, +4, 24-26 time on ice, 4 block shots, 3 shot attempts. That was Troy Stetcher's night tonight in Toronto. And I think we all know the reason we're talking about Alec Regula means Troy Stetcher wasn't able to be here anymore, and we can deal with Ty Emerson as well. Nice to see Troy Stetcher, an injury-riddled Maple Leafs team, steps up, has a really solid night for them tonight, an honest player that is going to give you everything that he's got. But with Regula Struds, there is something about he's got this tiny little, it's like poise and patience, and at least once a game, he's back to making a play where you're like, oh, okay, yep, really, really nice. Just a measure of poise that not all guys his size have and not all people have. We saw it tonight too. And for me, it's a good sign that he's getting back to making some of those plays where you're noticing that poise. That is what Stan Bowman saw in this player.
For sure. And I think that is important, but he can't compromise the defensive side of the game. Like, he can't have bad breakdowns like we saw. Like, it's been a while, but he got beat out of the corner, muscled out of the corner. He's a big guy. That can't happen. Like that, he's got to be. It's nice to me. Making those nice plays are a bonus, because if you don't do it well defensively, you're going to be minus. And as a third pairing D, they're like, "Nah, this doesn't work. You're out. Take your fancy plays and get out of here." So if he can do that, that's great. He has got to continue though to be good defensively. Both are important as a third pairing defenseman, Brownie.
I agree. I mean, I know that you're bullish on him, Schauger. I'm not there yet. I mean, he's had some good games. He's had some really, really rough games. What is he going to be like in February, in March, when the games get a little bit quicker, when the games get a little bit more, important? Where is his game going to be at that point, when the speed of the game picks up? So, I mean, last year we were all talking about Emerson. Hey, this kid could be a top 4, and then we found out, no, he's not. So Regula, there are some things in his game that you like. You love his size, but show me more. Show me more before I decide that, you're going to be in my final 6 come playoff time.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair, Brownie. Good points. I liked his shot blocks. The reason I really liked his shot blocks tonight, Struds, because that was a guy that was getting into position block to block shots and gliding into the shooting lane willingly, uncomfortable, knowing it was going to hurt on that one. I mean, he was opened right up. He could have got that thing anywhere, but he's getting into the shooting lane. He was gliding through it. There is no getting out of the shooting lane with him. And then, of course, we saw him step outside his comfort zone a little bit last game as well. Was that a couple of games ago? Sorry, I can't recall. But I like those signs from him.
For sure. Now, fighting is getting out of your comfort zone, and I hadn't seen a lot of block shots from Regula up to this point. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, or someone on the stream. So he's also getting out of his comfort zone. But that's also important. When you're in that third pairing, that's the way I just talked about it. Being good defensively, finding a way to limit someone else from getting a chance. And that's really important. Fighting for every shift you get. Bonus is moving that puck really nicely. And now we could talk about what the future looks like, but you've got to solidify yourself in that bottom pairing. And he hadn't done it in November.
Yeah. Okay, let's shift focus here. Let's get to our storylines, brought to you by Play Alberta. A reminder, you check out our socials on game days. We'll put out a line through Play Alberta that you can take the action on if you want to. A line tied to a story that we think is interesting. Casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province. Never been a better time to sign up. Right now, you can score a $50 free bet when you make a minimum $50 deposit with the code GYB50. That's code GYB50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today and find out if you're Alberta's next winner. Had a combo boosted today. Anytime points. It was Hyman and was it Draisaitl or McDavid today? Zuby.
It was Draisaitl. He had the 7-game assist streak, so he had Draisaitl for an assist, and Hyman had 11 straight games with a point against the Wild. So he had him for a point, Draisaitl specifically for an assist, and let me just check back through the summary here. No, that didn't happen.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Yeah, appreciate you doing the deep dive on that. I want to drill in a little bit, though, on Hyman here, guys. He was part of our storyline today. Struds, like, what are you seeing in Hyman's hands? His ability to engage in those puck battles, win those puck battles. Like, I was doing post-game with him tonight, and, you know, there is still a significant wrap on that wrist. You just wonder how it's going.
It doesn't look as easy or as smooth as we've seen in the past. You know, he maybe just falls into it or isn't quite able to get it wide enough. I mean, you think back to especially 2 years ago, it was automatic. I mean, how many goals do we see him produce just by quick hands or and not as far as off a breakaway, but just picking up a rebound in front. He just seems to this point still uncomfortable, but I think that's pretty natural considering where he's at here, Brownie.
Yeah, I agree. I would have thought that they would have waited till it was like 100% when he came back. Now, I don't know when it becomes 100%. Like when you say he's got a big ice bag on it, and obviously he doesn't look completely 100% yet. Like I wouldn't want him to be back right now playing if this thing's now going to linger. I have no idea. If it bothers him, doesn't bother him, I would hope that he would be as close to perfect as possible before he starts playing games because they don't need him yet. They need him in April and May and June. So I hope that this isn't something that will linger all season long and that he came back too early. And I know nothing of it if it is, but he does. I mean, he's not the Hyman yet that we expect each and every night. I hope that comes soon.
Well, and here's what I wonder. You know, if the Oilers were second in the division, playing really solid hockey and not kind of in the crisis mode that they were, I'm not saying that it's even about rushing guys back, but sometimes there's a little bit of gray area, I would imagine, Struds, where it's like, yeah, I can play. I mean, would another 2 weeks be great for it? Of course it would. But no, absolutely I can play. The doctors are saying it's not at risk of further injury. And I can't help but wonder, had better results maybe bought him a little bit more time, Struddy.
Oh, man, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Could you say that for every injury? I mean, every injury I ever had, although not as significant as this one, I was always like, it would be nice to have another week to 10 days. You know, like I'd like 3 more practices. I'd like to feel a little bit stronger. I'd like to feel a little healthier. You know, there's just a time where they're like, hey, you're good to go. And you're probably not going to do any more damage as you just kind of talk. So I'm fortunate, fortunate, I think he's getting good care. I think that they know that he is fine. He's not perfect though. And perfect comes through timing and reps and being out there. So I still think he'd probably doing the same thing. And if you waited 2 more weeks, right, it is what it is. You need those time to get back and going. So I don't feel that way. No, I think he should be.
All right. Fair point by you. That was our storylines brought to you by Play Alberta. Okay, going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to get to brownie points, Struddy's World. We'll take a lap around the league and ask us anything as well. As Zuby said, you now have permission from Zuby to fire in Christmas-related Ask Us Anything questions. So let her buck. We're into December here. Lots of content still ahead here on Got Your Back, presented by Timberhouse.
Riverside Motorsports is your ultimate multi-brand dealer. With a massive lineup of motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, snow bikes, e-bikes, and snowmobiles, all under one roof. With Alberta's best selection, a huge parts and accessories inventory, and a fully certified service department, Riverside has everything you need to ride. Family-owned and serving Edmonton for over 55 years, see what they have to offer in-store just off St. Albert Trail or online at riversidemotorsports.com.
Why would you? Nobody puts in wood windows or siding anymore, so why put in wood fences? Maintenance-free vinyl fence from DLR is back Buy a lifetime warranty and we'll save you time. Weekends are for playing, not painting. Go vinyl at dlrvinylproducts.ca.
All right, time to take a quick check-in on the evening scoreboard, brought to you by The Bridge Sports Therapy, offering a comprehensive approach that extends beyond temporary pain relief, focuses on developing long-term strength and resilience, with clinics in Edmonton, Sherwood Park, Lethbridge, and opening up real soon in St. Albert. Learn more at thebridge.fit. It was a battle at the bottom of the standings, Struds. Nashville and Calgary. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, basically, Nashville's figured out how to score, and Calgary still hasn't. Yeah, Preds beat them 5-1. First goal by Reed Schaefer, traded from Edmonton to Nashville for obviously Matthias Ekholm, and then Ozzy Weisblatt as well gets his first goal. They both got into a fight. Pretty cool night for those two guys for sure. A little closer at home, the Caps the Caps beat the Kings 3-1. Soon to be member of Team Canada's Olympic program, Tommy Wilson scored his 16th goal of the year. The Blackhawks lose in shootout to the Golden Knights tonight as well. Tyler Bertuzzi got his 14th goal, and Bedard got his 17th in the losing effort. Shea Theodore with the game-winning shootout goal. Then the Maple Leafs, as you mentioned, Troy Stecher getting his first of the year, but they win 4-1 over the Panthers. Don't look now, but they've won 2. Scored his first goal of the year in that one. And finally, the Avs 3-1 over the Canucks. Nathan McKinnon gets his 21st, Brock Nelson is 9th, and then McKinnon is 22nd. So the big man is rolling there in Colorado.
Oh boy, is he ever rolling? By the way, I took a look at Nashville's stats today.
Yeah.
And Steven Stamkos has 9 points. I mean, he's making $8 million, Struds, and he's got 9 points. Like, what? That Nashville situation is just like Trotzy, since he's been there as the general manager. Like, it's just been a train wreck since he got there. Or took that over.
It's a bit like Paul Skeens with the Pittsburgh Pirates. He's an unreal pitcher, but no hitting. And, when Stamkos signed there, I'm like, who's his centerman? Who's passing him the puck? Who's giving him the puck? Yeah. He needs to get the puck, and he's not as fast as he used to be, right? And that's no slight on Stamkos. I think in the right situation with a center that really can move the puck to him, I think he can still do damage. But and that's no disrespect to Ryan O'Reilly, but I don't think O'Reilly is that guy. Really interesting times there with Stamkos. They're talking about trading him. I mean, there'd probably be a market, but you're holding on to a lot of cash, and you're not getting much back. I don't think.
Sam Bennett, terrible here in Florida so far this year, to name another underperformer, says Joe Dokes 909. Zuby, we got Brownie inside yet, or is he still making his way?
He's ready to go. I was just going to give him a grand entrance into Brownie points here.
Oh, well then, by all means, let's roll the Brownie points animation and get the big guy back in here. It is time for Brownie Points, brought to you by the Alberta Ram Dealers. Get 10 years of built-in confidence at your Ram dealer with Canada's best full-size truck limited powertrain warranty. Every new 2026 Ram truck comes with a 10-year, 160,000-kilometer warranty. If you want to go check out this awesome truck inside and out, visit your local Ram dealer today. Okay, Brownie, have at her.
Well, let's start with, I like that picture. Mom's going to like that picture way better. Although that's what Mom's going to want to see.
Whoa.
All right, I got 32 Brownie points to Wild goalie Jesper Wallstedt, who came just as advertised. He came into this game with a .938 save percentage, and he improved on it in this hockey game. I thought both goalies played very well in this game, but Wallstedt was one big save after one big save better and stole, I believe, 2 points for the Wild. I got 120 Brownie points to the Oilers for back-to-back solid defensive games. In Seattle and again tonight, the Oilers avoided the big mistake, limited odd man breaks against, and are spending less and less time in their own zone. And when many did have a grade A scoring chance, Skinner was there to make a big save. Didn't have to make a lot of them, but he never allowed the Wild to extend the lead. I'm taking away 6 brownie points, though, for the Oilers on their 6-on-4 to finish the hockey game. I got to be honest. When the referee put his hand up to call the penalty, I'm thinking Edmonton Oilers overtime victory. I thought this just is going to fall into their lap. They're going to score on the power play 6-on-4 and then win it in overtime. But the Oilers win the faceoff. They did what they're supposed to on a 6-on-4. They never got a shot away. Twice, tried forcing passes, both time Connor McDavid. On a 6-on-4, we talked about it earlier, you don't force a pass. You've got 2 men more than them. You need more urgency getting pucks to net. They did not do that. So that, to me, was a wasted opportunity. Due to the Oilers game being a little bit low event tonight and not a whole lot to talk about in brownie points, I'm going out of town for a couple brownie points. I got 38 brownie points to Chicago Blackhawks superstar Connor Bedard, who scored an absolute beauty tonight in the game against the Golden Knights. He turned Team Canada defenseman Shea Theodore inside out before absolutely blowing one past Carter Hart. Bedard is trying to force his way into Team Canada. Tonight, he scored his 17th goal to go with 38 points. Bedard is third in the NHL in scoring. He has more points than both McDavid and Draisaitl. Think about that when you're trying to pick your team for Team Canada. And the final brownie points will go to 46 of them to the best player in the National Hockey League right now, and that's Nathan McKinnon, who will be representing Canada in a few months' time. Canadian superstar scored 2 goals tonight. He leads the NHL in points with 46. He leads the NHL in goals with 22. Canada will be blessed with an abundance of talent at the Olympics, and it will be led by the 2 best players in the world right now, and that is McKinnon and McDavid. And those tonight are my brownie points.
Yeah, Kato Weithorn says brownie points is always an A+ segment, but it's an A++ when I can see Brownie's face.
Whoa.
Someone
That's
else was
very
asking
sweet.
if the toque is burlap. There was someone fired that in.
No, it's friggin' cold outside.
Burlap.
I had to run inside from my garage.
So
Hey, I don't-
should
just
Bedard
to
be
go
there?
on the Team Canada stuff, like right now,
Yeah.
the top 4 point getters in the world or in the NHL are Canadian. 2 of them might not be on the team, Bedard and Celebrini. The top 3 goal scorers in the National Hockey League are Canadian. And one of them, guy who's second in the league, is Morgan Geekie, and no one's even talking about him. Canada's blessed pretty good with some good offensive players that are not going to be on Team Canada here in a couple months' time.
Brownie, you have a better chance of being on Team Canada than Morgan Geekie.
Yeah,
He's
it's,
second in the NHL in goals. And I think I read that in 2025 calendar year, either is the most goals of a Canadian or the most goals, period,
I saw
in
that.
the National Hockey League. That's how well he's been this year, and no one really knows about him.
This is really gonna cause a fundamental question for them because they have some guys that played well for them at the Four Nations and who are not playing well enough this year to be on this team. We just mentioned Sam Bennett, right? So you got Tom Wilson shooting the lights out. Well, I mean, just give him Bennett's spot, right? Bennett is not playing well enough to be on this team ahead of some of these other guys that are, but his game is so different. And now we're hearing the rink is maybe a little smaller over there than expected. So really, Brownie, they got some decisions to make here because there are guys who, based on their play this year, are going to deserve to be there.
Well, think about a Bo Horvat, who's got 16 goals in the island, wins faceoffs, kills penalties, plays that style that you want against the Americans. No one's really talking about him yet. The two, I mean, I don't know how you can keep Celebrini and Bedard off. Like they're second and third in the NHL in scoring right now. And they're both plus players. I watched the goal that Bedard scored tonight. That was nice. So there are a lot of players. Well, one of the ones that right now, had they not automatically put him on there, Braden Point's having a terrible year in Tampa. There are probably 25 forwards having better years than Braden Point, but he's an automatic because he was put on in the summertime. So there will be some tough decisions for whatever they do, they're going to leave off really good players. And it's going to be unfortunate. Team Canada could put a second team into this Olympics and would finish in the top 4, possibly medal. That's how deep Team Canada is this year.
Yeah, I'm going to challenge you guys there a little bit. What they're doing is amazing, those 2 guys, but they've never done it in the biggest stages. You think back to put those 2 guys in to last year in the Four Nations Cup. there's elite players, the elitist that look average. That look just absolutely average.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to manage the puck, make sure you put it where it needs to be, all those types of things. I'm not saying these guys aren't capable, but they've never done it in the highest point. So, or highest place. So if you're John Cooper and you're looking, okay, Braden Point or Bedard, I'll take Braden Point.
I wouldn't.
Hagel or Celebrity.
Nope.
I know, but John Cooper's the coach of the team. He's
I
done
understand.
He's done it all the time. So I don't think it's even a hard question. I think one of them will make it. I don't even think it's even a hard question for those guys. I think they'll be like, yeah, they're out.
No, I would take them. Superstars.
So where would you play them? Where would you play them? On the top two lines?
No, I could have Celebrini on my fourth line and have Bedard. Why do you have to have a checking line as your fourth line? Why can't you have 300-point guys on your fourth line and tell the other team, hey, check my guys?
Yeah, no, I hear it. So you get out there and then they're playing in a game where the elitist of elite looked average last year.
Yeah,
two guys
but these are Celebrini and Bedard. Yeah, these two are the elitist of the elite. They got more points than Leon and Connor.
So you think they're the best two of the best 4 players in the world right now?
I think they are. They should be on Team Canada 100%.
And they'd show that in an elite tournament like this.
They would be fine. Yeah, 100%. They would be fine.
Yeah, just fine. But they've never. We don't need fine. You need guys that have been through it before.
They'd be better than guys that are there. Well, yeah, but
there's some guys I'm not going to argue
the right way. I think they do play the right way.
They've never been in that moment. So listen. I think one's coming. I would not have them both playing all the time. I just there's other guys who have done it who are elite as well, and it's just hard. It's a hard tournament to be in. But I'm not talking.
I take the best players. I take the best players. Well, then automatically Sam Bennett's on the team.
Yeah, Sam Bennett. He might be in trouble. I think Tom Wilson.
Well, no. How could he be in trouble? He won the Conn Smythe. He was on the Four Nations. Was very good. How could you leave him off then? You just said that.
Yeah, so because I'm replacing with Tom Wilson, someone who's playing better, who fills the same type of role, right? When it comes to power play time, I have a hard time envisioning Celebrini getting out there or Bedard. When you look at what the top 6 are, Crosby, McKinnon, Marner, McDavid,
Celebrini.
Well, yeah.
What other forwards are better than those two offensively to be on your power play?
Well, you need different looks on all the power plays too, right?
Yeah. Bedard can shoot. There you go. Celebrini can pass.
Who's going to have the puck on his stick, McDavid or Bedard?
Yeah, but they're not going to be on the same power play. Crosby, McKinnon, and McDavid will be one power play. My second unit, I would have one. I'd have Bedard. I'd have Celebrini on my second power play unit because they're really good.
They are good.
No, I'm not sure. It's not saying they're coming, but I would have them on my team.
Yeah, well, I'd love to be in a part of those conversations, but I honestly don't think it's going to be as hard as people think to leave him behind. One behind. I think Celebrini comes. I really do.
Couple great debate, you guys. Well said on both sides. Couple of things to remember. They're going to have some extra roster spots for this tournament compared to the Four Nations. So, there might be a little bit more space in the likelihood. I think the likelihood that they're both on the team increases with each week that goes by, where they continue to be dominant players, both of them in the league. Now, having both of them in the lineup for games, I'm not sure. Like maybe that's where the line is drawn, but having one of them there as an extra. The other thing too with the Olympic setup is quite often like you don't feel the stiffest competition until you're in an elimination game. Their round robin is not that difficult, and then all of a sudden until it doesn't get real until you're in a quarterfinal or a semifinal, and it's the first time that they will feel the weight of that. And that's why I could see maybe you defer to guys that would know what to expect in those moments. But to Brownie's point, I could see them both bully their way into this lineup, onto this roster, just maybe not into the lineup every single game.
Here's one question. Now, I don't know the answer to this. I think I do. I know that sometimes in the World Championships, they dress extra players where they have like a 13th forward or a 7th defenseman. Tell me the Olympics is just 18-2, is it not?
I'm trying to recall. I mean, I was there in 14. I believe that it's a regular size lineup. if I remember correctly. But someone on the stream will get that for us and correct us.
Yeah, and the other thing
right
too,
there.
it's funny. We had John Shannon on our Ched a couple of games ago, and we asked about the fact that the rink is smaller, and I asked why they decided to make the rink smaller, and he said somebody just screwed up. Like literally, it's 4 or 5 feet shorter. Just somebody screwed up and made the rink smaller than an NHL rink, which is hilarious. When you think, I think the Olympic ice and everything, and it's actually smaller than what it should be. So.
Yeah. Okay. Great segment, guys. Great debate. Great segment. That was Brownie Points, brought to you by the Alberta Ram Dealers. Time to put Struddy into the spotlight. Roll the animation, Zuby. It is time for Struddy's World.
When you make a mistake, heads should roll. It's not right. And I'm here. Someone has to put their foot down. Now that I say it out loud, it does sound a little crazy.
God, I look good.
Trizen says Ryan picked Brownie on that issue. Strudwick going to remember this and keep the receipts for future payback. I thought I did a great job staying out of that one. You know, mom and dad are arguing at the dinner table. You just stay out of it when you're one of the kids. You just sit there and learn. Time now for Struddy's World, brought to you by Body Realty at Royal LePage AR Team Realty. Buying a home is a big decision, right? And the team over at Body can guide clients through the complex process with expertise and care, providing unwavering support even after the keys are handed over. Their clients say really make you feel like the only client they have. Visit BHATTIRealty.com. That's bodyrealty.com. Struddy.
The Wild are not going to win the Central ever until they adjust this one situation. Take a look at it. Colorado, McKinnon, Brock Nelson. You've got Wyatt Johnson, Rupe Hintz in Dallas. We know it's in Winnipeg with Adam Lowry, Johnny Tays, and of course, Scheifele. At center in Minnesota, they've got Ryan Hartman, Eriksson Ek, who's good, and Marco Rossi. They don't stack up down the middle the way those other teams do. And that's something they have to sort out. Now, Ryan Hartman may be a part-time center. I love the way he plays. Man, he can be my second or third line center or a winger of my time anytime. Eriksson Ek, unreal second line center. I love that guy. Marco Rossi's still trying to find his game as far as he a one center, is he a two, or is he going somewhere else? We're not sure. He's signed to a short-term extension. So Bill Guerin's done an unreal job with this team. They're set in net. They're really good on the back end. They've got good wingers. They're big. They're heavy. They've got skill around their lineup. Yeah, they probably need another goal scorer at some point. But until they address the center position, I don't believe, guys, they'll be legit contenders in their Central Division for the foreseeable future. I'll hang up and listen.
Well, I will question Eriksson Ek as a second-line center. I think he is good. I think he's a first-line center, and I would put him out against anyone in the National Hockey League. He is as good a two-way player as there is. They do get thin after that in the middle. They will have to address that. They're good. Their goaltending is fantastic. Their 6D and a couple of those young kids are they good? Faber's good. I always say the other kid's name wrong. Bowen. Oh my God.
Bowen. Yeah.
Is he going to be good? 19 years old. Wow. Can he skate? They need a little bit more help up front because it's hard to win every game 1-0 come playoff time. So they do need a second line guy. They need to have someone to play. Kaprizov is playing with Hartman as a centerman. Kaprizov's a superstar in this league. He needs a centerman, a true centerman. So that will be something. They do have now some money to spend because they finally got rid of Suter and Parise's contracts that they've been paying forever. But I do believe they are capable of I think they will be a better playoff team than they will be a regular season game team just because of the way they play. And if they add a couple of bit at the deadline, that'd be a team I wouldn't want to play in the first round.
Do you think, Struds, that a good enough blue line, like what Brownie just described, and they're going to get better season over season here, a good enough blue line can help make up for some lack of depth down the middle when you have that quality of D-men out there?
It sure helps. There's no doubt. I think building from the back end is really huge. But the challenge is that you still have to go head to head, right? So you look at, I see people on the stream, why are you comparing them to the two best teams in the league? because those two best teams are in their division. I mean, like, I'm not picking the league. I'm just sticking their own division. I'm not picking Florida Panthers or whatever. So you need to have that depth. And listen, Eriksson Ek is a really good player, Brownie. He doesn't put up the points, to me, of a top line center. Like that's why I see him as a 2. I think he's a really good 2, a lower end 1. But it's been pretty rare we haven't seen a Stanley Cup winner without a top end 1, a top end D man. So this group has got a good group of D. I don't think they have that top end. Now, if Marco Rossi can become that, maybe there's another one in the system I'm not aware of. I apologize, Wild fans. But yeah, to answer your question, Chagar, it helps. But I still think you need to have those big guys because you got to score as well. And they need to score.
Well, I mean, it goes, and it also goes to what the Colorado Avalanche have done the last couple of years. They lost Kadri. And now who are we going to? So they went out and tried to make the big trade. They traded a fantastic defenseman to get Casey Middlestat. Well, he didn't work as your second line center. So then they went out again and they made the big trade last year to get Brock Nelson. And they're hoping that he becomes the second line center. But yeah, you want to have strength down the middle. Strength down the middle and on the back end is where you have success. So Colorado went out and tried to make those trades. We just, in Edmonton, the expectation, well, we got Connor and Leon and Nuge, we're set here, but I do believe Minnesota does need to make a move to get someone in the middle to play. Because if you're playing in the playoffs and you're going against those teams, before you even find the third round to get the Oilers, Connor and Leon and possibly Nuge, I believe they have to improve at that position.
I love it. Everyone's talking about how great the Minnesota Wild are. Look at their record, 12 straight games with points. Struddy's world. It's smoke and mirrors, folks. Struddy's got the dynamite takes. I love it, buddy. I love it.
Well, let's just be honest. Like, what have they done in the playoffs, right? And so, and I know the handcuffs have been on. I get that, but I think we got to pump the brakes a little bit before we anoint them as the powerhouse in the Central Division. Because what did they beat Colorado in overtime the other day? I don't know. I'm not feeling it. Not feeling it without a center.
Well, there you go. Big asterisk beside their 1-0 shutout win tonight. 12 straight game with points. Not enough center depth. That's awesome. Brownie, you mind hanging around for Take a Lap? We just got you. It's so nice to see your face and have your face and your presence on the show. Zuby, you got a 3-shot set up for Take a Lap. Can we do that, pal?
Yeah, I'll just have to do the quick transition from Brownie's tooked photo to his tooked real life persona.
All right, perfect. You go ahead and work your magic there. All right, time to take a lap. Brought to you by Riverside Motorsports, as Zuby does amazing things as always here on the show. Your multi-brand motorsports dealer serving Edmonton for over 55 years, offering a wide selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, ATVs, side-by-sides, snow bikes, e-bikes, and snowmobiles from industry-leading brands, featuring a fully certified service department, genuine OEM parts, and accessories, recognized as the #1 KTM dealership in the country. Check them out online, www.riversidemotorsports.com. All right, Struds, you and Brownie ripped through taking a couple of laps around the league.
Well, the boys, you guys touched on a little bit earlier, but it does sound like the rink according to Pete DeBoer, is about 3 to 4 feet, either more shallow or not as wide. And I think it does make an issue. I know when I went from Olympic down to smaller ice, it felt like it was a lot easier to get around. And now, where is that coming out of? Is it going to be equally distributed between the neutral zone and both end zones? Are they going to take it out of the neutral zone, make that smaller? So I think it'll be more difficult, Brownie, offensively, to find some open space because the guys are big and they're super fast. So it might not sound like much, but I think ultimately it will play a role in maybe tighter games.
Well, yeah, and I know John Shannon thought it was 4 or 5 feet. I think it'd be something that the teams will want to know soon where they are taking it out, because the neutral zone, 5 feet in the neutral zone, that's a big difference. With all the plays, things you're setting up, and then you start thinking, is it below the goal line? Is it smaller below the goal line? That would be different. We see how many teams use below the goal line to create offense. It is unbelievable that I guess I'm biased, but the marquee event of the Olympics with the NHL superstars is on a rink that's not up to standards. First of all, it's not even built yet, but it's not up to the right. It's like you wouldn't have a tennis court that's 3 feet shorter. You wouldn't have a basketball court that's 5 feet less. So it's kind of weird that they would make this kind of mistake. So yeah, it will affect. It'll affect the way the game is played until the players get used to it.
Hey, Giuseppe, should we measure this? No, don't worry. I walked it off, Luigi. It's fine. It's a fine.
Goodness sakes, Struds. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to be there, and I think I'll be taking the stairs, boys. I don't know if I'll be taking the elevator in that place, because like how many standards or corners are going to be cut to just try and get her going, man? So like, I mean, apparently it didn't have a roof not too long ago. I have no idea what to expect when we get there, but it'll be interesting. I'll be reporting right from the inside this rink that we've talked so much about. It's going to be fascinating to see. What else, Struds?
To wrap it up, just a couple injury updates. Tyson Forster of the Philadelphia Flyers about 2 to 3 months with an upper body injury. Seguin left the game tonight and didn't return. And then for Canada hockey fans, Blackwood, a hopeful of the Wedgwood, a Canadian hopeful of the Avs, left the game also with an upper body injury. So quite a bit going on as far as injuries across the board tonight.
Those are big ones. Wedgwood has been a revelation. Like, he honestly could have played himself into Team Canada as the backup goaltender of his NHL team. That's how good a season he's having. I hope that that's not a long-term injury. So again, it is unbelievable. Every night there's major injuries across the National Hockey League. And again, I know the NHL wanted, or the players want to go to the Olympics, and I know you have to have a compact schedule because of it. But I don't know if this many players are out over the course of the season. We aren't even getting to the hard part yet. So this is going to affect, and it'll be interesting to see how it affects the Olympic teams. How many of the Olympic players won't be playing come the Olympics because of injuries?
So post-game, Bednar said that nothing too serious at this point. Bednar said it was his back that tightened up, and better safe than sorry. So Shaugher gets a sore back too, and he gets off the treadmill. So sorry, disrespectful, elliptical. So
Elliptical.
My bad. I sorry, that was rude.
Don't mix up my workouts. Zuby, were you trying to bring a comment in there? I saw it, and then it disappeared, and then it looks like it might be a chirp at Struds. Like, what do you got going on there, buddy?
It was a good one. It says, do you think Struddy would be bragging to his coach about getting back quicker if the rink was 4 to 5 feet shorter back in his day?
If it was that short, I wouldn't even have to skate. I'd just reach back and just throw the puck up the wall. I want to play in these rinks. I might get the call. I might get the call to play in that tight rink. Oh,
like that old barn in Kelowna, boys. That old barn in Kelowna.
Well, we never played in that one, but the Seattle one, I think it was like square corners in Seattle. I don't even think I skated. I would just reach in the corner, take the puck away, and then slash someone. It was a dream. And your dad would be like, "You skated so well tonight, Brown," or Struddy, "Mr. Brown, I don't think I skated at all." You know, like, it was unreal.
Well, when I played in that Seattle one, they didn't have plexiglass. They had chain link fence.
No.
And you'd be at a face off. Yeah. They had chain link fence, and you'd be at a face off, and girls would put their arms through the fence and spray perfume in your eyes just before they drop the puck. It was unbelievable. God. And they had a black rubber border around the boards that you'd be skating, get hit into it, and your body be going 20 miles an hour, and your shoulder would hit it and stop. And guys were breaking collarbones, tearing their shoulder up. It was not a good rink to be. It wasn't up to NHL or WHL standards, but it was all Seattle had at the time.
I played in a rink in Ljubljana, Slovenia one year. My minor hockey team went over there, and there was chicken wire fences at both sides, like on both ends. And after the first period, we had some guys started coughing in the locker room and just kind of coughing up this black crap and just like, they weren't feeling good or whatever, right? Second period, it got way worse. We ended up with 3 guys in the hospital. There was an ammonia leak in the rink. Ended up having to evacuate. We're standing outside in our gear. Like, it was no good. No good. So any chicken wire for anything, not a good setup for hockey. Hopefully there's no chicken wire in Milan. Yeah?
Just the last one here. Some funny ones coming on YouTube saying Timberhouse should be called in to fix this up in Italy. That's the funniest. That is the fun. I looked over, I started dying. That was the best line.
Oh, like, 100%. Joe Dokes 909 says definitely not a Timberhouse level of quality. So yeah, Timberhouse measures twice, then cuts. Says Oilers forever.
Measure twice, cut once.
And can you imagine the biophilic design principles at an Olympic caliber arena? There'd be greenery everywhere. Everyone would be feeling great, walking around just like, I feel amazing in this space. By the way, I'm in my Timberhouse studio tonight.
Hey, it's fine. It's fine. I measured it before lunch,
All right,
everybody.
you're going to insult people. Your buddy Fernando Pisani is going to come over and throw eggs at your house if you keep doing that ridiculous accent.
Hey, what are you
Brownie.
talking about?
Hey,
Get out of
Sugar,
here,
that rink you played in, how close was it to Chernobyl? Were you guys concerned about that at all? If you guys were coughing up black stuff?
Yeah, I'd never actually look. I don't know. Where's Slovenia? I don't know.
No,
I just
I don't-
remember going there.
I don't think it's that close. Hey, but
Brownie-
before we cut Brownie loose, there's a
Yeah.
there's a question for him.
Okay.
And I'll see the graphics being a little bit funny here on this page, but Trizent wants to know, who were your line mates in that All-Star game? Mario and who? Love that jersey hanging up there behind you.
Well, it's funny. That was back where the fans voted in, and the first line was Mario Neely and Matt Naslund. Is that the guy who was in Montreal? Matt Naslund?
Yeah.
That was the starting lineup, but Naslund was hurt, so I got to be in the starting lineup. So it was me, Mario, and Cam Neely, and we lined up against Gretzky, Curry, and Robitaille. And I was -4 in the All-Star game. Gretzky's first
Didn't win
game in
the
Edmonton
car?
for an All-Star game.
Second toughest guy in the starting line, but though, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was tough out there with Neely as my winger. Yeah, no, it was fun, but yeah, that was a cool experience, the All-Star game.
Wow,
Nice.
crazy.
Thank you for the extra time tonight, Brownie. It is very good to see your face, my friend.
All right, guys, take care.
That was, yeah, no, we're not doing that. At a certain point, we had a lot of complaints out of Australia for what he was doing in season 3 there, Zuby.
I have to bring it. Just do different
It's
accent every night.
It's so far down on the list, though, of people who are going to complain, the Italians.
Yeah. Joe Doak says, Timberhouse, we're all out of chicken wire and ammonia. We'll have to use high-grade steel and Duracast. Yeah, they do it properly at
Yeah, they do.
Timberhouse, no question. All right, we are long into the show tonight, so let's get a break in. And when we come back, Ask Us Anything is what we have left in our play of the day, so stay with us.
So at Timberhouse, our guiding philosophy is naturally inspired living. We believe that through design, we can solve problems and enhance people's lives. We follow biophilic design principles in all of our builds to incorporate natural materials, natural light, to enhance all the spaces in a home. When you have your space perfectly reflect who you are and what you value, and it's made well, we think that that just leads to better living.
We feel like this theme song is biophilic, Zuby. Would this be the musical edition of biophilic principle?
I feel like it has the sort of calming feeling that I want, but I don't know. I'm also envisioning like bugs in the grass or I don't know. I like
in
the,
search
I like
of
the vibe. I'm
a-
not sure it's got the greenery.
Biophilic, yeah, maybe. I might be overthinking it. Still in search of a perfect sound to represent biophilic. We're gonna find it, and it's gonna be epic when we do. Let's get to our Ask Us Anything segment, brought to you by Mortgages by Maria, powered by Dominion Lending Centers, Maximal Mortgages. With the Bank of Canada lowering rates, it's a great time to look at your mortgage, but your bank only shows you their offer. Maria, on the other hand, brings you options from a whole lineup of lenders, so you get the deal that works best for you. Don't just roll over for the bank. Connect with her today at mortgagesbymaria.ca. Okay, oh, there, I can see it in full screen now. Wow, Zuby, that is some aggressive holiday content you're wearing there.
Don't take this wrong, Zuby, but it looks like I should take you for a walk. You know, like it'd be like
yeah.
You know,
something you put on a little dog,
collar.
tiny little dog. Yeah.
Someone
Come on,
else
Zuby,
said
let's go.
they were worried I was going to rob a train or something. I could see that. I don't know. It is a
I
cheap-
actually have a matching blanket in the living room. I have a matching blanket to that in the living room. Maybe I'll go get it.
Gord says I just got back from the groomers. Yeah, that's right. Let's wrap up the poll really quickly. We had a very, very tight vote here tonight on the DeBoer's Golf Shop and Fitting Center YouTube poll. Oh, there went Shogger. We'll get him back. No problem. The poll question tonight was the mood check after a 1-0 loss. And this was kind of the second from the best mood choice that pulled it out. And that was not bad, defense, goaltending, PK, trending up 31%. The bottom choice, losing sucks no matter what, 24%. Meh, lack of goals, still concerning, 24% also. And all good, they win that game 9 out of 10 times. That was the top possible mood, came in last. So a mixed bag, very close. And thanks to all for voting. On
Yeah,
the
I
YouTube
think it's
poll.
usually a good poll question when you can throw 4 answers out there and we come and they're all that close. But I think that's a pretty measured response from Oiler fan, I would say. Despite the suffering they've been doing this year, I feel like that's a measured response.
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah, it's but not a bad. Someone came into the chat from another show, they didn't say which, and said they were quite surprised by the overall optimism in our chat. So maybe that, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just how
There
it
you
is.
go.
All right. Gong Show pointing out it sure looked like the Oilers forwards were committed to coming all the way back and staying there until the puck was fully under control, which we pointed out with video even to back up something they were practicing last week. Shogger, you've probably been watching it pretty closely. You took that video. Do you see more of that? Do you feel like they're committing to what they were practicing?
Yeah, I think so. I think, well, and I've talked to some players about it, and yeah, they are. Yeah, it just turns out that one drill that the one we picked off there, Struds, I think we're seeing a lot of that. It's really noticeable now that you know kind of exactly what to look for. Those players coming back to inside the hash marks there, centers stopping, not swinging in their own end. I think they're applying that, and I think that drill was a good illustration of exactly what part of the issue was.
It's actually doing an over back check. So they're actually almost under back check. Just go to your spot and stand there. Don't over back check and go right into the blue paint, and then the puck pops out and it's a goal.
Mars Boy pointing out Oilers were deadly on faceoffs too. I don't have that number in front of me here, but it was pretty one. At one point in time, it was like fully 70%. I think they're winning the faceoffs.
61%, including Ryan. Connor McDavid was was that Nuge at 11-2? Holy
Nuge is 11-2.
snap.
He was an animal, absolute animal out there.
And it's a big deal. It's not, we've talked about the defense, goaltending, PK, but I mean, that's a pretty big deal when you're looking for positives and you want to be a puck control team, right, Struddy?
It is. And I just like starting with the puck, right? I think it's important. I don't want to chase it down. I've got it. Now I can just make my play and move on with my day.
JL wants to know, with so much talk about practices, why isn't there more emphasis on having more practice days in the CBA? Well, this is actually kind of the reverse, right? They want to put in more games, than the players push back and say, then we're going to have fewer practices. Is that kind of the gist of it, Shogger?
Yeah, so the Olympic schedule really crunches the number of days that they have to squeeze in all these games. So for that reason, they're really squeezed. The CBA, the priority is making sure the players have their 4 days off a month where they are cleared from having to be at the rink or travel. So they have to book those ahead of time. And those often would be perfect practice days, Struds, but they have to get those days off in there as well. So it's a combination of and I think the science of rest, where they're going to take the rest during road trips more often than trying to squeeze a practice in, Struddy.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, the one day off a week. I had a coach who didn't give us any days off, and then we hated each other. It was brutal. It was just insane. You're just tired and you need a break. Oh, they're professional athletes. Yeah, well, they're humans. They need a break. The problem is that, so you're talking about 1 day off a week, and then you have 3 games a week. So now you're down. So let's say there's 28 days in a month. You're already down to, 16 days. So you have 12 other days. Now maybe you have a couple back-to-back games, 2 times a month. You can't practice that third day, or it would be unlikely. So that's 2 more days out of the thing. Then he mentioned in the travel days, especially the teams out west, that takes out a lot of practice days as well. So now you're down to a handful of practice days. Like, one good practice a week, I don't think it's happening right now for these teams.
Oilers Forever One pointing out 2 power plays with no shots. Still trying to pass into the net cost them a point. Now, I think it's worth pointing out that the third power play was very effective. They had so many chances. That was the one where Hyman almost buried one. They really dominated that stretch of time. But what did you guys see with the power play? Is the inconsistency then of the 2 different versions we got to see in one game tonight an issue going forward, Struddy?
I actually thought the power play was pretty good. Give credit to Minnesota. They did a good job kind of keeping it tight and not allowing the Oilers, especially Bush, to get his big bomb off that often in there. So I thought they did a really good job. I'm glad he brought that up because it reminded me the Oilers did well statistically on the penalty kill, but they had 4 missed clears. So they got lucky.
Yeah.
4 clear, easy clears. They didn't get it out. And they got lucky tonight with that, because if that would have stunned them 2-0, there's no way they're getting back in this game the way the Wilds are playing.
Weren't there 3 of those all in like a 30-second span on the one? Didn't they have 3 chances to clear on one of them? Right.
Well, I thought I counted 4 total. Like, just, and it was the team that didn't get it out.
I just mean 3 came all at once there.
Like
the other side of that.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, just the Kulak just rimmed it softly around. I mean, the D-man got it too easy. You got to hammer that thing.
The other side of that coin was there was that really nice sequence from Matthias Janmark. And I often, when I see players do that, where they keep the puck and then they circle back to try and take advantage of the extra space, I wonder why. Well, I don't wonder, but it makes you feel like if players had the opportunity to do that more, Struds, like throw the puck back. It's so counterintuitive. You always want to get it down the other way. But it was a nice shift from Janmark there.
Looked great. He was moving and skating. So the idea is that, you kill time and you throw it all the way back to your D-man, and then they throw it all the way back down. And I think if communication is there, it's a great play.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, there it is. I was trying to find another comment. We've got some, I know we're running long. I want to get 1 or 2 more hockey. I know we've been loaded with all the Christmas questions you might expect. And folks that asked them, I appreciate them. We're not going to get to them all. Save them. We'll spread them out a little bit. Don't be.
Are you sure you want to? You want to just do some Christmas ones?
Well, we can't. I was going to do one more because a couple people had echoed this thought from, but we don't want to blow our wad in the first December. But we'll have maybe 2 to get to. But Ro Nelson wanted to know, I like that this is becoming a thing. With Struddy's proclivity for asterisks, do the Olympic hockey medal winners get asterisks without the Russians competing?
I mean, the Russians, you never know what you're going to get from them, right? They can win or spit right out early. But I think it is important to have them there because I think they're a big part of hockey history. So with what's going on now and they're not there, I don't think the Olympics are complete.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
But no asterisk. No asterisk. Like it is what it is. And you're still showing up to an event where everybody's trying hard to win. And I'm not with that one.
Okay, this is a funny. We've gone here a few times, but it's the follow-up comment from Blommer that really crushes this one. So Clinton Tiffinger said, "What's your favorite Christmas movie and why is it It's a Wonderful Life?" We'll let you guys have your own opinion. You don't have to take his. But then Blommer came back with this, and I howled. He says, "Yeah, every time a bell rings, Knobloch changes his wings." And I thought that was very clever, Blommer. Very funny.
Well done, Blomskinator.
But we can do favorite. We've done this before, but that's fine. These are worth doing every year. So what's your favorite? I know Struddy's favorite Christmas movie. Go ahead, bud.
No, what is it? The one I can't remember. That it's the love one.
Yeah, don't you always say Love Actually?
Love Actually, yeah, Love Actually. I love that show. I love that show. Oh, beautiful.
And you guys know mine because we debate whether or not it is a Christmas movie, and that's Die Hard.
That's Die Hard.
And that you lose credibility with that.
I'm Christmas Vacation / Elf. would be my two. That every year I make sure I watch both of them start to finish. He's an angry little elf.
I watched that for the first time with my kids, which was fun. We let them watch Elf this year, not Christmas Vacation, which would be my runner-up. And my wife keeps saying, I think they can watch Christmas Vacation. I'm like, no, I don't think that they can. There's like, it's not yet for 8 and 6-year-olds. Soon, I can't wait until we can watch it with them. Okay, here's a good one from my buddy Gord Parchewski. Says, for Christmas dinner, are you pro ham or pro turkey for Christmas or pro other? What's your... Are you guys the traditional, or what's your first choice for Christmas dinner? Shogger, I think I know yours, but we'll let you say it.
I mean, I'm not a big turkey guy. Like, I just got through Thanksgiving. I didn't have any turkey. I just went with all the accoutrements, all the sides and everything like that. So I'm really not the right guy to ask. I appreciate it when there's both, because there'll be a lot of nights where I just don't feel like going hard at the turkey, but a little slice of ham. So I like it when there is both.
I don't know what to say to that. So disappointed. I'm very traditional. Turkey. I mean, that's what the first pilgrims had. Why are we not celebrating the same way? You know, anyone who says elsewise is the kind of person that would bring grapes to a movie theater, right? It's popcorn, candy, pop. That's what we get, not grapes. Leave your grapes at home. The grapes of wrath.
Okay, and on that, you know what? Probably my first choice would be a turkey, but I don't want to have the people close to me having to spend the day cooking it. I love to go to somebody else's house and eat a great big turkey dinner. And I think this year, in fact, we might even be doing lasagna. What do you think of that? Is that onside or offside to do like a big lasagna dinner for
I'm fine with it. As long as there's some cranberry sauce available somewhere on the table, you put whatever you want out for a main.
I'd like some stuffing with my lasagna in case I'm not getting enough carbs from the lasagna.
Pierogies.
I don't even know you.
Lasagna.
Is that we in a different world right now? Like, what else is going to happen? Like, I don't even know what to say. That's like going to Germany for beer fest and having wine. Like, it doesn't even make sense. Like, it's insanity.
All right, that was Ask Us Anything, brought to you by Maria Gallus Mortgage Broker. That was it, Zuby. We're good.
I could keep going, but
now we're late into the night.
We're over time. So again, to the folks, I appreciate all the Christmas and non-hockey questions. Joe Doak sent a good one. I'm even going to copy and paste it into. We'll bring it up another night. It's not even Christmas related, but I don't want to forget it. So.
And we appreciate all your contributions on the live stream. Here we are. It's 12:11 a.m. We still got a rockin' stream. Lots of great comments. Love the contributions. Thank you. Let's wrap her up with our play of the day, brought to you by Mainline Water and Sewer, your trusted choice for over 40 years, specializing in sewer line replacement and expert water line repair and replacement. Slow drains are a sign it's time for attention, and aging lines can cause basement backups. Their trenchless method is quick, low impact, and often finished in a day, complete with backflow protection. Visit mainlinewaterandsewer.ca. Struds?
Yeah, there's just some perfect moment in sports, and we saw it tonight. Ozzy Weidblatt scored his first goal as an AHLer for the Nashville Predators. He's 23 years old. His brother Orca had passed away earlier this year, and he immediately reached up and pointed at the sky, on paying tribute or honoring his brother in that one. He also got in a fight, so huge night for him and his family. Obviously, nothing replaces Orca, but a special moment for Ozzy that I'm sure him and his family feel good about.
For sure. That was an emotional one. And it was, Reed Schaefer scored the goal, got in the scrap. Ozzy got in the scrap and ends up scoring the goal too. So that's a big night for them, big night for the family, and a great moment. That happened in September. That was not very long ago. So pretty devastating stuff for them, but nice to see him with a smile on his face and pointing up to Orca. Pretty cool moment tonight. All right, that's our play of the day, brought to you by Mainline Water and Sewer. That's a great one, Struddy. Nice job. All right, folks, first time watching live. Enjoyed watching live. Good night, all. That comes to us from Robert Hall. Thanks for staying up with us, Bob.
Sweet.
We appreciate it, buddy. Let's do it again in 2 days. Hey, fellas. But tomorrow, Struddy's World. Struddy, you want to tease it at all? What do you got?
Yeah, you're coming on, and for the first time, he finally answered my calls. Jamie McLennan will be joining us. And then I've got a great got get off the fence that I am passionate about. So we'll get into that around all between 12 and 1 tomorrow. Tune in.
Will the scarf be making an appearance tomorrow as well, Zuby?
I was just going to say, I guess I'll have to put my get off the fence about scarf wearing, push it back 1 week, defending the scarf. That'll be in 2 Wednesdays. Tune in for that one. No, it probably
Sounds
won't
good.
be. Hopefully it'll be a different shirt altogether in the morning.
Perfect. And a reminder, that is a live stream on all of our platforms, X, YouTube, and such. And then it's released in podcast form. It's its own podcast. So make sure you download and subscribe that pod. If you're a fan of this one, you're going to love Struddy's World because it's a whole lot more of him and a hell of a lot less of me. So like and subscribe. Tomorrow, 12 to 1 o'clock, a live stream. Good job tonight, guys. Thank you. And thanks to all of you and our sponsors as well. We'll talk to you again real soon. See ya.